Why every Forex beginner must understand pips. You may have heard traders say things like, I made 50 pips today, or I lost 20 pips on that trade. If you're new to Forex, these statements can sound confusing. What exactly is a pip, and why do traders talk about it so much? The truth is that pips are one of the most important concepts in Forex trading. They are the common language traders use to describe market movements, gains, and losses. If you do not understand pips, it becomes difficult to know how far the market has moved or whether a trade is performing well. In this lesson, you will learn what a pip is, how it works, and why it is an essential concept for every beginner. What does the word pip mean? Pip stands for percentage in point, but you do not need to memorize the term. The important thing is to understand what a pip does. When you look at a Forex chart, prices are constantly changing. Some changes are large, while others are very small. Since some of these movements can be tiny, traders need a simple and consistent way to count them. A pip is the unit used for that purpose. Without pips, one trader might say, "The market moved a little," while another might say, "The market moved a lot." These descriptions are not precise. However, if someone says, "The market moved 30 pips," traders immediately know the exact amount of movement. How pips work. For most currency pairs, 1 pip is equal to 0.0001, which is the fourth number after the decimal point. Suppose a currency pair exchange rate is 1.1000. A few minutes later, the price changes to 1.1001. The market has moved by 1 pip. If the price moves from 1.1000 to 1.1010, the market has moved by 10 pips. If the price changes from 1.1000 to 1.1050, the market has moved by 50 pips. A simple way to think about pips is to see them as steps. Each small movement in price represents another step taken by the market, and traders count those steps in pips. Practical examples of pips. Suppose you buy EUR/USD at 1.1000 and later sell it at 1.1020. The difference between the two prices is 20 pips, so you gained 20 pips on the trade. In this case, the market moved upward, and because you bought first, the price movement worked in your favor. Now let's look at a sell trade. Suppose you sell GBP/USD at 1.2500 because you expect the price to fall. A few hours later, the price drops to 1.2480. The difference between the two prices is 20 pips. Since you sold first and the market moved downward, you gained 20 pips on the trade. However, if you had sold at 1.2500 and the price increased to 1.2520, the market would have moved 20 pips against you, and you would have lost 20 pips. These examples show an important lesson in Forex trading. When you buy, you want the price to rise. When you sell, you want the price to fall. In both cases, traders measure the result in pips. The importance of pips in Forex trading. Pips play an important role in almost every part of Forex trading, such as measuring profit and loss. Traders use pips to know how much they have gained or lost on a trade. Setting stop losses. Before entering a trade, traders decide how many pips they are willing to risk if the market moves against them. Setting profit targets. Traders also use pips to determine where they want to take profits. Managing risk. Risk management becomes easier when traders know exactly how many pips they are risking on each trade. Comparing market movements. Pips make it possible to compare how far different currency pairs have moved, regardless of their prices. Because of these uses, pips are one of the first concepts every Forex trader must understand. The special case of Japanese yen, JPY, pairs. Most currency pairs use 4 decimal places to calculate pips. However, pairs that contain the Japanese yen, such as USD/JPY, EUR/JPY, or GBP/JPY, work a little differently. For JPY pairs, 1 pip is equal to 0.01, which is the second number after the decimal point. For example, suppose USD to JPY is trading at 145.20. If the price moves to 145.21, the market has moved by 1 pip. If the price rises from 145.20 to 145.30, the market has moved by 10 pips. If the price changes from 145.20 to 145.70, the market has moved by 50 pips. A simple way to remember this is, for most currency pairs, count the fourth decimal place. For JPY pairs, count the second decimal place. At first, this difference may seem confusing, but with a little practice, it becomes easy to recognize. Whenever you see a currency pair that includes the Japanese yen, simply remember that its pip is measured using 2 decimal places instead of 4.
Sometimes you may notice that your trading platform shows an extra decimal place. For example, instead of seeing EUR/USD at 1.1000, you might see 1.10005. That last digit is called a pipot. A pipot is 1/10 of a pip. In simple terms, it is a smaller unit used to measure even tinier price movements. For example, from 1.10000 to 1.10001 equals 1 pipot. From 1.10000 to 1.10010 equals 1 pip. Therefore, 10 pipots equal 1 pip. You do not need to worry too much about pipots as a beginner. Most traders still talk in pips because they are easier to understand. However, it is helpful to know what a pipot is because many trading platforms display prices using 5 decimal places. Conclusion. In this video, our goal was to understand the basic idea of what a pip is and how traders use it to measure price movements in the Forex market. We learned that pips help traders track market movements, measure gains and losses, set stop loss and take profit levels, and communicate clearly with other traders. Although a pip may seem like a small concept, it is one of the building blocks of Forex trading. Once you understand how to count pips, it becomes much easier to learn other important topics, such as lot sizes, position sizing, risk management, and profit calculations, because all of these concepts are connected to pips. So, take some time to practice reading prices and counting pips on different currency pairs. The more you practice, the easier it will become. If you found this lesson helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Forex Made Easy Hub, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming Forex lessons. In our next videos, we'll continue breaking down Forex concepts into simple, easy-to-understand lessons that will help you build a strong foundation in trading. Thank you for watching. And remember, at Forex Made Easy Hub, our goal is to make Forex simple, practical, and easy for everyone to understand. See you in the next lesson.